Hello, it's Tuesday, so I am back with another needs nugget. And I did say last week that I would be doing a video a week for 7 weeks where I'll be sharing the 7 keys to getting all of your needs consistently met. So last week we talked about the first key to getting your needs consistently met, which is the what. I'll drop a little link to that in the comments so you can find it if you haven't already seen it. But before I go on any further today, if you're watching live, drop me a little comment so that I know that you're here. If you're watching on the replay, drop me a little hashtag replay so that I know that you've seen this video. So today we are talking about the second key to getting your needs consistently met in the ways that really work for you. The second key is possibility. And that is, what I mean when I say possibility is that we need to begin to learn and understand that at a core base level, it is possible for us to meet our own needs. The thing is, we never get taught that, which is why a lot of us don't operate as if that's the case. So if you imagine when we're born on this planet, we come onto this earth as a baby and we have no ability to meet any of our own needs for ourselves. We can't feed ourselves, we can't clothe ourselves, we can't comfort ourselves, we can't even expel air from our own body without somebody else coming along and helping us. So our instinct is to look to the people around us, look to the adults around us, look to our caregivers to get our needs met. And for most of us, the caregivers that we had tried to meet our needs for us in whichever way they could. So what would happen is that we would, when something wasn't right, when something didn't feel quite right, the alarm system would go off, i.e. we would start to cry. And for a lot of us, we had a caregiver around that would come and try and figure out, are we hungry? Do we need to sleep? Do we need to be changed? And they would do their best to try to meet the needs for us. Now, the thing is that as we learned, as we grew up and as we developed, a lot of us had people around us who knew that they had to teach us how to be able to function as an adult human being. So they taught us how to be able to walk, talk, how to be able to dress ourselves, how to be able to go out and earn a living. But what they didn't really, a lot of the generation before us weren't as aware of our emotional needs and how to get our emotional needs met, because they weren't actually very aware of their emotional needs and how to get their emotional needs met. So what's happened is that we've learned how to look after ourselves regarding our physical needs and our physical well-being. But in terms of the full spectrum of the 12 universal needs that we have, we've got some pretty significant gaps in the ways that we were in being able to meet these needs for ourselves. So we've never been taught to meet these needs for ourselves. And so a lot of people are physically walking around like adults, but they're emotionally still walking around in the world like toddlers, i.e. the way that we relate to our needs is that we're still looking to the outside world to meet those needs for us. And we're never taught that it is actually possible to meet the kind of base level needs for yourself. Now, it's really important for us to say, for me to just say here, is that it is important to remember we are social creatures. So we do need interaction with others. We need connection. We need community in order to thrive as human beings. But the challenge is that even our social needs often aren't met very well when it comes to our relationships. And there's a reason for this. What ends up happening is that because the rest of our needs in our universal needs tree aren't being very well met, because we haven't learned how to meet them for ourselves or even begin to start meeting them for ourselves, what ends up happening is that when we are in these other relationships, whether that's an intimate relationship, family, friends, colleagues, what we end up doing is we utilize those relationships to try to get the other needs in our tree met. So same as we did when we were toddlers, we're still looking for getting those other needs met by other people or situations outside of us. And what that ends up doing is it means that, one, it pressurizes the relationships that we're in, because unfortunately, when it comes to relationship, need always trumps love. It's a more powerful force, is the need that we have. And so that ends up becoming the overriding factor. And it puts a lot of pressure on our relationships when we're looking to get our needs met via those relationships. What it also means is that the very valid social needs that we have often aren't getting met in those relationships because they're getting superseded by all the other. We're so busy trying to get our other needs met in those relationships that we don't actually have the space and capacity to focus on getting our social needs met. So those aren't getting met very well either. So what happens is that when we learn how to meet our base level core needs for ourselves, when we know it's possible to meet our needs for ourselves, then what we're able to do is we're able to learn how to do that. And when we learn how to do that, what it means is that it takes the pressure off those other relationships, so our families, our friendships, our intimate relationships, our colleagues, And what it means is that those relationships, when we're spending time in those relationships, we can actually focus on getting those social needs met, which are really going to help us to thrive. So it's really important to not only know what our 12 universal needs are, but also that it is possible, and at some levels and at many levels, for us to meet our kind of core basic human needs, core basic universal needs for ourselves. And then what we want to do is the connections that we have with other people are the places that we want to get our social needs, our need for connection and relationship and community met. So that's the place that we go to get those needs met. And that's where those needs can really get met, because there's nothing else getting in the way. So that is the second key to getting all of your needs consistently met in ways that are really fulfilling, the ways that really work for you. I'll be back next week with key number 3 of the 7. In the meantime, if there's anything I've said today where you've gone, oh my goodness, that's an aha, drop it in the comments, let us know, like call it out for other people, because how you might, the things that you might get from what I'm sharing really might help other people as well. I see it a lot when people share something, oh wow, yeah, I hadn't thought about that, that's really helpful. If you've got any questions about the things I've shared today, drop them in the comments. And if there's anything else that you want to know about how to meet your needs or about self-care, drop it in the comments, and I'll either do another needs nugget at another time, or I'll make sure I share some content so that you get the information that you're really looking for. And if there's anything else you want to know, tell me about it. Either drop me in the comments or send me a direct message so that I can make sure that we're sharing the needs nuggets that are valuable for you and they're really helpful for the challenges that you're having right now. Thank you to those who have joined me this week, and I look forward to seeing you again next week with the third key to getting all of your needs consistently met in the ways that really work for you. Much love, have a great week, and I'll speak to you soon.